All right, y'all. Today, we're going to be talking about how the East is shaping up to be a two-team race between the Milwaukee Bucks and Boston Celtics. And I know I am a little late talking about these two league-altering trades, but I've been busy. But I'm here now, so rejoice in my presence. I'm completely joking. I'm not that important. At least not yet. But let's get into it. Now, first up, we're going to be talking about the most important trade, which is Damian Lillard to the Milwaukee Bucks. No one thought this was possible. I mean, the Milwaukee Bucks literally went out there and did the impossible. Going into the offseason, I thought there was really no way for the Milwaukee Bucks to go out there and get a superstar, all-star caliber player. So this took me by complete surprise that they were able to get a guy like Damian Lillard. Damian Lillard is a top 3 guy at his position. I mean, the only two point guards you can really put above him right now is Luka and Steph, and even then, you can have a debate. Now, me personally, I would say he's number 3, but hey, if you want to debate it, you won't look crazy. Dame has been that good and is coming off a really, really good year. Now, the fact that Milwaukee didn't have to give up some crazy haul in order to get him is insane to me. All they had to give up was Jrue Holiday. And yes, that is a big loss because Jrue Holiday is a really good player and he's very important to what the Milwaukee Bucks did and how successful they were. You can make a debate that they don't win that finals if they don't make that trade for Jrue Holiday. And to me, that is completely true, but this is a necessary evil. To get a guy like Dame, you have to give up something. And I don't mind giving up Jrue Holiday to do that. And also, you give up 3 picks, but in my opinion, you're really only giving up 1. You give up 1 unprotected first-round pick in 2029, and then the ones in 2028 and 2030 are both pick swaps. So while you're not going to get the highest possible pick, you're going to get a pick nonetheless. So really, in my opinion, you're only giving up 1 pick. Now, this trade is exactly what Milwaukee needed. Now, you can say that about any team acquiring a superstar-level player, but for Milwaukee, they needed more shot creation. The biggest problem the Bucks have always had is lack of shot creation besides Giannis. They've really only had Chris Middleton. And while Jrue Holiday can score, can get a bucket, and can facilitate, he is not the type of shot creator Dame is. That's just a fact. I mean, and somehow they were able to get more shot creation without giving up shot creation. To me, it's kind of a miracle that you were able to do a trade like this without having to give up Chris Middleton. And the fact that you were able to keep Chris Middleton and add even more shot creation is insane to me because you're building the perfect team around Giannis. You're surrounding Giannis with capable shooters and an all-time level scorer in Damian Lillard. No matter how you feel about him, this is a top 75 player. This is a dude that's going to be in the Hall of Fame and is one of the greatest shooters we have ever seen. And now he's by one of the more dominant interior forces we've ever witnessed in Giannis. And that pick and roll is going to be crazy. And back to the Chris Middleton point, he is now your 3rd best player. That is amazing. In my opinion, Chris Middleton is a perfect 3rd best player. He is a really good defender and scorer, and he's best when you don't rely upon him to do everything. And if Chris Middleton's your 3rd best player, you've built a really, really good team. Now, the fact that the Bucks even did this trade shows that they're willing to do anything to make Giannis happy. I think like a few weeks before this trade, you saw Giannis be candid about, I'm not afraid to move on to a different team. I just want to win. And I'm willing to do whatever it takes to win, which may include leaving Milwaukee. And the Bucks heard him say that and say, you know what we're going to do? We're going to get you Damian Lillard because you're not going anywhere. You staying here forever. And to me, that shows how dedicated this front office is in making Giannis happy. They've done whatever it is necessary to build the best team around Giannis. If you want to look at any organization and model yourselves after them when it comes to treating your superstar player properly and building the best team around him, look no further than the Milwaukee Bucks. They've done everything to cater to Giannis' play style and just put him in the best positions to win. Getting Damian Lillard is literally the best thing they could have done this offseason, and they did it. This was the best case dream scenario that is now a reality. And I also saw that it's funny that the Bucks didn't even really consult Giannis before making this deal, because there's a possibility that Giannis would have been like, no, I don't want to give up Jrue, because him and Jrue are guys. They brothers. Guys is kind of crazy. They're brothers. They're really tight. They're close. I mean, you saw the little message he sent to Jrue when he found out he was leaving. Like, that was heartfelt. That's something you do for someone that you really rock with. So I applaud Milwaukee for having the balls and saying, hey, we're not going to consult him on this. We're just going to do it. And he's going to be happy about this in the long run, even though it's going to suck losing Jrue. Now, another big part of this trade for the Bucks is that you really don't lose any depth. Now, the Bucks did lose some depth this offseason when you lose a Javon Carter, who was very important for you when it comes to just your backup point guard role and just overall shooting and defense. But, I mean, you still have Pat Connaughton. You still have Bobby Portis. Like, if you look at this team's starting five and key bench pieces, they're still really good. Like, to me, the starting five is probably going to be Dame, Pat Connaughton, Giannis, Chris Middleton. Chris Middleton at the 3, Giannis at the 4. I don't know why I said that backwards. And Brook Lopez at the 5. I've seen a few people want to put Giannis at the 3, but why are we doing that? I mean, I don't know how feasible that is. I don't know how smart that is. I mean, Pat Connaughton is a guy that's played with Dame. He's going to be able to provide you shooting and defense next to him, which is really going to be all you need. So, yes, I will start Pat Connaughton. Then off the bench, you have Jay Crowder. You have the new addition of Malik Beasley, who is probably going to be a knockdown shooter for them. I mean, that's how it works. You normally go to the Lakers or you play with LeBron and you play terrible. Then you go to another team and you play amazing basketball. He's going to do that for them. Then you saw Bobby Portis. You have a young player, Marjon Beauchamp, who I think could make a big leap this season. I thought about putting him in the starting 5, but I personally think it may take a little bit of time. And especially coming out their gate, they're probably just going to ride with Pat Connaughton, given that he's a vet, he's been there, and he's played a lot of basketball. All in all, the Bucks look scary. I mean, just looking at this team's top 2, they probably have one of the best duos in the league, and they haven't even played a single minute of basketball together yet. That's just how seamlessly they fit together on paper. Now, there's a possibility that this doesn't work in practicality, but I think that's very slim. I think the odds of this not working is slim to none. The Bucks look scary, man. And then you have the Boston Celtics, who I'm not going to talk about the Boston Celtics for as long as I've talked about the Bucks, because they didn't make as big of a move, but they made a big move nonetheless, which is going out there and getting Jrue Holiday. And I know a lot of people looked at the deal and said, wow, you give up Robert Williams and Malcolm Brogdon for Jrue Holiday? Like, those are pretty important pieces to your team. They were important pieces last year. I mean, Robert Williams has been a core member of this group for the past 2 to 3 years. But again, like Jrue Holiday was in the Bucks trade, it's a necessary evil. Jrue Holiday's an upgrade from both Malcolm Brogdon and Marcus Smart. I know Marcus Smart won Defensive Player of the Year, and he's an amazing defensive player, and he was a leader on this team. But just pure basketball, Jrue Holiday is a better basketball player than Marcus Smart. He is a better defender, and offensively, he won't take away from Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. There were a lot of times last year that Marcus Smart would fire random threes for no reason, want to take the last second shot and run the offense for himself. Jrue Holiday, he is not the type of player that is going to get in the way of Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown on defense. He's not going to do that. He will fit beside them, and he won't take away from what they do, while also being a monster defensively. And I know a lot of people hate losing Robert Williams, but Robert Williams hasn't been healthy for a long time. He hasn't been consistently healthy the past 2 years for stretches where you've needed him the most. And also, I think a lot of people are forgetting, this team also has Kristaps Porzingis. I mean, the Boston Celtics went out there this offseason and got 2 All-Stars for none. They didn't give up a single All-Star in their quest for acquiring All-Stars. I mean, this team legitimately has 4 All-Star caliber players. Like, the Celtics have improved mightily, and I know a lot of people, it doesn't jump out the page at you because it's not a Damian Lillard. but Jrue Holiday is a really good basketball player. Kristaps Porzingis is a really good basketball player. Who is your fourth best player on this team? If you say Jrue Holiday being your fourth best player is really, really good. If you say Kristaps Porzingis being your fourth best player is really, really good. To me, these two teams have separated themselves from the rest of the East because the Cavs, in my opinion, while they're very talented, they're still really young, and I have no idea who's going to be their small forward and what they're going to do with the wing position. The Philadelphia 76ers are just, they're a mess right now. You have no clue what's happening with the whole James Harden thing. Joel Embiid, will he be healthy in the playoffs? Who knows? And then after that, you have like the Miami Heat, who have just failed this offseason in acquiring anybody. Their names in the running for every superstar or all-star caliber player, but they get none. I mean, they're going to be around, but they're not going to be the same team. The New York Knicks are a really good basketball team, but they don't have the firepower, in my opinion, to match up with the Celtics or Bucks. Right now, it's looking like a two-team race, and I understand the basketball season. It's a long season, 82 games. A lot can happen. Injuries. Some players can disappoint while other players surprise. But in my opinion, right now, it's looking like a two-team race. And I know in these two trades, there was one team consistently in both of them, and that was the Portland Trail Blazers. And I'm going to talk about them at a later date because they are a very interesting team, a very interesting organization, and I have a lot to say about them. All good things, honestly. More questions, more confusion. But hey, right now, I think the East is a two-team race. Now, the season may prove me wrong. Well, so be it then. Anyway, let me know in the comments below what you think of these two teams. Which one of these teams are better than the other? Are the Celtics better than the Bucks? Are the Bucks better than the Celtics? In my opinion, right now, it's a toss-up until we see them actually play basketball. But, let me know down in the comments who you think is better. Who won this offseason? And remember, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend. I love y'all. I'll see y'all later. Peace. Why did I do that?